bobcat compression shapes. They're much more circular, and if we can get a clear print, I'll show you that they're asymmetrical as opposed to symmetrical. We also don't get the X pattern that you can draw into digits. So here's the bobcat. Its track placement usually tends to prefer cover. Moving across this area slowly into the brush again. There's actually a foot drag right there. This is a sit area of a bobcat. When you see tracks side by side, that's called teeing. It usually means a stop. But the front paws are elongated because it's where the legs rested, and behind there you can see the haunches. And so before that there was a secondary stop. It's even deeper in the snow. And while it doesn't necessarily mean that it's been there for a longer period of time, it is certainly an indicator that it probably sat there for a longer period, scooched up to this edge that opens out into a clearing, and then decided perhaps this wasn't a good place to hunt these snowshoe hare after all. You can see where it got a slow start, stood for a little while, posting or teeing, and then another stop here, as bobcats do, and then slowly, in bobcat fashion, because it's using its eyes and not its nose, makes its way up through into the brush again. But you can tell, again, the circular compression shape. Look at the massive amount of volume the heel pad takes up in this bobcat track, and also how this toe is kind of thrown a little bit more to the left, and the other three are placed kind of closer together. So if we were to divide this down the middle, look how asymmetrical this track is compared to the coyote track. Coyote tracks have an oval or egg-shaped compression. Their tracks are symmetrical, meaning if you divide the track in half along the vertical axis, the left side of the track looks much like the right side. The toe ridges in a normally placed track will create an X between the outer two toes, the middle toes, and along the sides of the heel pad. In Maine, the grouse is lovingly referred to as a partridge. We have both spruce and ruffed grouse here, and is one of the possible menu items for both the bobcat and the coyote. Here's our more probable menu item: snowshoe hare. I mean, look at these massive rear legs, small front feet, even at a slow rate of speed, which this is not. It's the next track clusters about 3.5 feet away, so it's moving at a leisurely stroll for snowshoe hare. It can't help but gallop most of its life, and that's because of those huge engines mounted in the back. I have seen them tiptoe in an alternate walking fashion and kind of just lop their bodies from one trout lily to the next in the early spring, but overall these guys are pretty solid as gallopers.
These are wild squirrel tracks. You can tell how wide they are.